Welcome, one and all.
Check out this week's live stream.
Welcome to the show.
Hello, I'm Jimmy, and welcome to my house.
BALLCAP Nation. Assemble.
Let's go.
Let's go indeed. Welcome in, everybody, to a Tuesday night. It's Tuesday night, so we're streaming live. It is the BALLCAP Nightcap. Welcome in, everybody. I hope you're having a good week so far. David, Kyle, welcome, guys. Rocky, welcome in. My members to the channel. Thank you, guys, for being here and supporting. And thank you, everybody else that is here. As always, Steel Badger, AB, Zachary, Rob, giving everybody a shout out that I can see here most recently in the chat. How's everything? How's it all going, guys? Tuesday night, we're going to do this thing. I think we have a fun show tonight. I hope you enjoy what we got, what I have planned for you. This should be a fun one. And I hope you guys, like I said, I hope you guys enjoy it. CJ will be here in about 10 minutes or so. And we'll be talking with him about spring training, how that's going. He's I believe from what I've seen, he's a golf guy. We'll probably dig into a little bit of that too. So this should be fun. Should be fun to meet him and welcome him into BALLCAP Nation. Before we get to CJ, though, there are a few topics to sort of cover here right at the beginning, and that is, I don't know, what was the biggest thing from the past week? I feel like it was the beef between Trevor Bauer and Noah Syndergaard and Marcus Stroman a day later. You guys comment in the chat. This thing just really blew up and for about 24 hours had everybody's attention, and it kind of just lived on Twitter, right? Which is interesting because, these guys, they've all got, jet it and forget it kind of money. They could private jet this thing to wherever they want to in the world and squash this, talk face to face. And it seems to be just living on Twitter. So, interesting to see all of this play out on Twitter. I don't know about you guys, but that is just, it's great theater. It's humorous to watch as long as it remains, just words. Let's just keep it with words. So that was interesting. Over the past week, that really took off. The other big news was the deal that Fernando Tatis Jr. got. And, I asked you guys right from the start, and we had about 1,100 votes in the poll asking, will Fernando Tatis Jr. be considered underpaid in 5 years? And half of you in the poll, again, 1,100 in the poll, said, yeah, we had a 50-50 split that he would be considered underpaid in 5 years. And I know some people are shaking their head, probably thinking, are you insane? The money that he's getting, it's one of the few $300 million contracts in baseball. It is. But if we're looking 5 years out and everybody who's going to get paid between now and then, there's going to be a lot of guys that eclipse Fernando Tatis Jr. This is a great deal for the Padres. This is a smart deal for them. Now, there's some risk. What if he gets hurt? What if he can't continue on this trajectory? But what if he does? If he does, he's asking for $500 million in 5 years. So this deal was a good one for San Diego. It's a good one for Tatis. It gives them both, gives Fernando the money now, and it gives San Diego the chance that if Fernando decides, or was to decide that he wanted the big payday down the road, he's locked in. So this is a good deal. Ultimately, I'm a fan of it. I think it's good. How it sets up now, Washington Nats, how much you going to have to pay Trey Turner? How much are the Rockies going to have to pay? How much are the Rockies going to have to pay Trevor Story? How much are the Mets going to have to pay Francisco Lindor? So all of that is going to be interesting to kind of see how that all plays out. So, this Tatis deal really sets up a situation with a lot of other guys. Also wanted to talk about, because I'm really surprised about some of these guys that are still free agents. What are you waiting for? Jake Odorizzi, what are we waiting for? I'm going to pull up just to make sure nothing's happened in, I don't know, the last half hour. Honestly, before I was on here, I was watching the Iowa State Baylor game. Baylor number 2, undefeated. Iowa State's terrible, and they had them on the ropes. I mean, when are we going to get some of these deals done? I don't see anything. So Jake Odorizzi, the longer this drags out, the harder it is for him to really latch on with a new team. I know he's going to probably be throwing and doing everything he can between, now and whenever he signs, but he's still not with the team. He's still not getting, integrated and soaking up the game plan and the strategy, and it's going to send him back. The longer that this hangs out there, the more likelihood that I think he just goes back to Minnesota for a year, just because they're familiar with each other. I just think that becomes more and more likely the scenario for Jake Odorizzi if he hangs on and things don't actually move here in the next couple of days. I mean, really, everyone's there now. We're going to start playing games here, and he's not on a team. I think that is absolutely a miss by him and his crew, and I hope that they get things going. Jackie Bradley Jr., I'm not sure what the deal is there. Sign with somebody. The Brewers are in touch. The Red Sox are staying in touch. Sign somewhere, man. I don't understand what the deal is now. You got to get with the team. You got to get signed. Jackie Bradley Jr., it looks like it's the Brewers, the Red Sox. Those are the teams that are most recently linked. Shane Green, that's another good one. I mean, I think the Mets have been talked about with him. Go get that deal done. I just don't understand why pitchers in particular are waiting around. It's a little bit easier for a reliever, but for starters especially, you got to get on team. And then Puig, what the deal? This whole Puig situation is fascinating, regardless of his antics. How much of an asset he is between the lines. You got to think somebody would want to take a chance. I don't know if the agency that represents Yasiel Puig, we all know who that is just not getting it done, was too focused on other clients. I don't know. I don't want to say that's the deal, but something's kind of fishy here. Something's kind of funny. I don't understand. But anyway, we move on. Let's talk about real quick, because we got to stay on time, because we do have CJ coming up soon. Spring training, finally, guys. Finally, spring training is here. I know we're all excited about spring training. And really, at this point, there's no games. It's just guys reporting. It's what's fun. The best part, honestly, about spring training at this point is just seeing everybody in the new uniforms, right? You've got Lindor in there with his new Mets uni. That looks nice. You've got, now Jays, we didn't get him, but there's Taijuan Walker with the Mets. The blue and the orange, I've been a fan. I grew up in upstate New York, the Syracuse orange, a lot of blue and orange, so it's all good. I like it. Then you got Kluber with the Yankees getting his work in. White Sox bringing in Lance Lynn. There you see Lance Lynn and his new White Sox duds. I'm peeking around the corner. Then you got Hendricks. Hendricks getting some work in. Can't forget what Kansas City did. Can't forget that. There's Santana looking sharp in that Kansas City blue. I do like that Kansas City blue. Benintendi taking some hacks, smiling. And this really is the part of spring training that is the most interesting at this point, is everybody in their new uniforms, the new colors. There's Snell with the Padres, Darvish with the Padres. Again, all looking good. There's Mr. Bauer. Bauer outage himself. Looking good in blue. This is a great shot. Arenado in that Cardinal red. Love how that looks. Then, of course, Blue Jays fans, can't forget We got Yates. Here's Steven Matz in his Blue Jays outfit, Blue Jays uni, looking good in the blue. Simeon getting a stretch in. And then, of course, the man, Springer, just looking yoked, getting ready to just hit a bunch of bombs. You could just see him. He's thinking about how many home runs am I going to hit this year for the Jays. So, all looking good. All looking good. Again, it is all about spring training and the new uniforms and catching everybody in their new, really the new duds, their new stuff. I do have a great show for you guys tonight. I hope you enjoy everything that we're going to put into this show. As I have mentioned many times now, and wait for him to hop into the chat, but CJ Van Ike is here. A little after that, around 10:30, 10:35-ish, Hum Baby Baseball will be here. Eric and I will be breaking down the National League. Interestingly enough, just a few days ago, we finally have some actual win numbers. We're not going to be going off of the baseball or Fangraphs or Baseball Prospectus or whoever put out that the projected wins. We will be using DraftKings. They have their win totals, the over/under numbers, and we will be going through that. So make sure you guys hang tight. We will have something great for you guys. Don't go anywhere.
Where's the beef?
You can have a great beef dinner in no time at all. Well, almost no time at all. Beef. It's what's for dinner.
All right. So we are waiting now just for our first guest. Rob S., thank you for joining and becoming a member. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Anybody that is kind of curious about what that's about, I do have memberships available. There are exclusive emojis and badges for these chats that you can get if you become a member. And there's two levels. There is, the $1.99 a month level, one to make that real cheap. And then there is a $5 a month level. And that gets you the emojis and everything and exclusive videos. Only to the platinum members get the videos. So if you're interested in any of that, we did the first one. I did my top 10 for the platinum members. If you're interested in that stuff, that is there for you. So we are waiting for CJ. I'm pretty sure he will be here any minute. He did have the link. I hope you guys enjoyed the Bauer beef video there, our sponsor for tonight. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Rob S., thank you very much. I appreciate that. Go Jays, go. Should be a fun year for Toronto. We are looking for good things. We talked about the spring training, outlook, what to watch for with the pitching. I think that's going to be fascinating to watch the Blue Jays pitching this time. Colin asking about what happens when you go to timeout. It's a 5-minute piece. It's a 5-minute timeout. Let's see. Wardy, what's up, buddy? Wardy, Tyler, did you catch my sponsor? Let me know if you caught the sponsor. If you didn't catch my sponsor, we'll run it back for anybody that might want to see that again. But yeah, I mean, the Blue Jays going to be interesting to watch and see how these guys all play out, working for that 4 or 5 spot, looking to maybe find their way into the rotation. So that is going to be fun to see for sure. He did not. All right, this one, guys, we're going to run this one back for Tyler. Where'd it go? As we wait for CJ. Let's see here. Here it is. All right, one more time, a word from our sponsor.
Where's the beef?
can have a great beef dinner in no time at all. Well, almost no time at all. Beef. It's what's for dinner.
A Mets steak sandwich. Sandwich between Thor and Stroman. All right, so we are hanging out. I hope you guys enjoy that again. Probably put that up as a solo standalone video tomorrow for anybody that wants to check it out. So again, hope you guys enjoyed that. We are hanging out, waiting for CJ. Now, I mean, this is going to happen. This guy is busy. He is at spring training. So, you know, he's got a lot going on. So I'm hoping that that we're able to make this work. I do have the link out to him. He'll get here as soon as he can. We may have to work this out tonight. We'll figure it out. I'm sure he'll be here. I'm hoping that we can get this worked out again, like I said, without the whole, interrupting Eric too much and that whole thing, but we'll figure it out. Maybe all three of us, maybe it'll be me, Eric, and CJ at some point. We'll sort of put the NL over under conversation on hold if CJ gets here. So, could you imagine? No way. Thor in a Twitter battle. Yeah, I mean, here's the other thing. You know, Bauer's staying on Twitter with that thing. He's not going to go see Thor face to face. Come on, that's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Let's see here. We are hanging out, waiting, and while we wait, one thing that it's really not baseball related, but I mean, who here's thinking about Tiger Woods tonight? That whole situation is that was a close call, guys. That Tiger Woods crash, that was a close call. I don't know if you saw the photos, but this is a car. This is Tiger's car. He was pulled out of that thing. He's got 2 broken legs. So he's going to be sidelined, going through some recovery, but that was brutal. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, that man was lucky, and it is going to be hard. It's going to be, if he, that's kind of the knee jerk thing, is like, does he golf again? That's anybody's guess. I don't want to say he doesn't golf again, but you got to think the odds are against him that he is going to be able to get back out there. And if he does get back out there, at what level? Because he's going to be looking to perform at his absolute best. And is he going to be able to do that? We'll see. Again, thanks everybody for hopping in here on a Tuesday. We are looking for CJ, waiting for him to grab the link. Again, busy man. He's at spring training right now. There could be some team activities happening. So we will we'll keep efforting that to make that happen. We do have Hum Baby Baseball coming up in a little bit. Eric will come on. If Eric comes on first, we will start with the National League conversation. And if CJ checks in while we're doing that, we'll put it on pause and me and Eric will talk to him. So we'll make it work. And if CJ is unable to make it tonight, I'm sure he and I will message. You see me looking this way. I have my second screen over there. I'm just looking. We will reschedule it, and I will let everybody know. So, good. I mean, David's got it right there. He was already coming back. He's definitely not playing this year. I'm with you on that one, David. I don't think we'll see Tiger Woods this year. This is going to be a long process, and he's still, I think, 45. So he's got time. It's not easy to recover from these things as you get into your 40s, but he's not 65. And so he will recover. It's just, again, how good will he be? But just wish all the best for Tiger and hoping he does well. Everybody, thank you for being in here. We are hanging out on a Tuesday night, chatting with you guys, keeping an eye on CJ. We got Eric coming in a little bit. Make sure you guys hit that like. Hit that like on a Tuesday night. If baseball is life, that's the way I put it. If baseball is life, hit that like. Let's see. Tiger Son, Didn't we just see, Tyler? I think we just saw a video within the last week of Tiger with his son playing baseball. I can't remember if I saw that listen, weeks fly by these days, but I'm pretty sure it was in the last week or two. We just saw something with his son playing golf. Yeah, no doubt. Tiger training his son to play golf. He's gonna be good. He's going to be good. Just like LeBron James's kid is going to be good at basketball. It's always tough being the kid of somebody who's just an all-time great. Like Jeffrey Jordan just had a mountain to climb. Going up, trying to follow in your father's footsteps. LeBron's done a great job bringing his son up. Tiger bringing his son up. They're doing some good things. All right, I'm getting a message here. Hold on. I am getting a message from CJ. Got the 3 little dots, when somebody's messaging you. We'll see what he says. Let's see if he can hop in. Sorry, guys. I'm just waiting to see what CJ. Let's see. He is in traffic, almost back to the hotel now. No problem. Sorry, guys. This is what you came to see, right? Me messaging with CJ. No problem. Hop on in when you can. All right, so we have traffic down there in Tampa, which traffic, who's familiar with Tampa? Traffic down there, for some reason, traffic is just, I don't even know why they have a ton of roads, but there's always traffic. And where he's going, if they're up in the Dunedin area, the traffic up there, it's just crazy. Rachel, thank you for asking that. So CJ was scheduled to be here at 10:15. He ran into some traffic, just messaging with him on Twitter, and he is close by. Anybody that might think I'm full of it, let's see here. Here we go. Just messaging with him. There he is right there. So there's me and CJ. He is stuck in traffic. He is on his way back to the hotel. So we're just waiting for that to work itself out, and we'll be all good. I don't understand, where are these spamming bots coming from? It's crazy, right? I just hit block. I got an error on that. Kyle, let me know if you have any trouble, or any of my other moderators, David or anybody, if you have any trouble with them. I don't understand where this stuff is coming from. I can put them in timeout. That's kind of annoying. Like, I can put him in timeout, but I can't. When I try to block, it gives me an error message. You guys let me know if you get the same thing. That's strange. That's very strange. We'll be on it. We'll be on it. It's just the same E1. That is annoying, guys. This is brutal. I'm trying to block them. God, let's see. Anyway, it's the same one too. Isn't that strange? There we go. I finally got one of the blocks to work. Again, I know I got Kyle in here. I got David in here. We're on it. We'll get that out of here. It is gruesomely annoying. Wow. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is, but it is the same one over and over again. All right. Again, like I said, Kyle, I know we're on it. So anyway, so CJ will be here as soon as he can. Yeah, hold on a minute. I'm going to add, you guys, while we're going through this thing, I'm going to add another moderator to this, because I know I've got a couple of you guys in here, but let's add to the army. Let's see here. Studio. Nope. Yep. That's where I need to go. I'm just glad. I'm actually glad now that this is not happening when CJ's here, because it would be taking all of my attention to take care of this crap. Tyler, I got you. Just give me 1 minute here while I get this all worked out. There we go. Settings. All right, Tyler, I'm going to make you a moderator here, just to add to the army to take this out, whatever's going on, guys. I apologize. All right. That, and we'll get that. All right, Tyler, you are now a moderator. Again, I apologize, guys. That's annoying. All right. Whew, brutal. Let's see. All right, we do have, let's do this. All right, I am going to count on my moderators to take care of that, because that is aggressively annoying. So we're going to take care of that. Here's the good news, guys. If you want to, just ignore the chat for a minute, because CJ is here. Robbie, I see you here. Robbie, can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, Robbie. I'm sorry, Eric. Eric, can you hear me? Eric, do you see? Okay, Eric, I'm gonna put. Can I get you to come back in 15 minutes? All right, right on, buddy. Thank you. All right, so we have from the Toronto Blue Jays, and again, the guys in the chat, block it out. I've got my mods taking care of it. David, Kyle, everybody taking care of it. Hang out, just enjoy the conversation, because I'm going to bring into the room here. Let me just move my branding around, get this right. We're going to have CJ join us now. Let me get that out of the way. Let me get this up, and we're going to rock with this thing. And we're going to do this. CJ Van Ike, welcome, my friend.
How you doing? Can you hear me?
I'm good. I can hear you. You're coming in good. How are you? Stuck in traffic down there in the Dunedin, Tampa area?
Yeah. So me, Manoa, Klostein, and Clark played golf today after
Nice.
after I had a little early day, and I went down to their place. It's about 40 minutes. It's on St. Pete Beach, and I'm up on Clearwater in this hotel. So
okay,
a little difficult. Okay.
Here. So they're down in St. Pete, and you're up. So yeah, that's a little bit of a drive.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with the Tampa area. I used to work for the Westfield malls that are down there. I was one of the corporate guys. I did some sales stuff, and so I would bounce around and have to navigate that whole area. And traffic is deceptively rough down in the Tampa area, and it's just great. Is it now? Florida State, Florida. Were you familiar with this area at all, or is this a new situation for you, new area for you?
I mean, it's a little new area. I used to come over here and go to the beach and stuff.
Yeah.
This is the beach we go to over here in Clearwater, obviously. But
yep.
Other than that, I'm pretty unfamiliar with the area.
Okay. Yeah. It's a cool spot. I just love how it's surrounded by water with all the causeways and everything. There's just water everywhere, and I like that. Again, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. I wanted to just have sort of an informal conversation with you about what's been going on. I'd love to hear a little bit about just spring training. Are you enjoying your first spring training with the club in the majors with a lot of these guys? How's your first spring training going?
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. I never thought I would be in big league spring training for my first spring training, but
yeah,
I'm excited. I'm excited to be here and getting treated like a big leaguer and just doing everything inside with them. It's definitely an experience, and something something we can all learn something from them. I think
it's pretty cool. Any rookie hazing? Is there any of that's going on, or is it all pretty straightforward?
No, it's pretty straightforward. I don't think
Cool.
I think they wait for I haven't heard anything about it, but that's probably wait till the teams like actually pick and ready to go. We're all just fishing a barrel right now.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy these first few days. But I'm sure it's got to be fun. What are the I'm sure everybody's wondering, what are the COVID protocols like? I know you had to get there early, right? Like the pitchers and catchers usually reported last Wednesday or Thursday, but you were there like a week ahead. What's some of that stuff that you have to deal with?
So right when we got here, we had to take a COVID test and then go back in quarantine and wherever you are for 2 days, and then come back to the field, take another saliva test.
Yeah.
I believe we went home that day again. And then the next day we were able to, once they had our results, start working out. And then now we're on a spit test every other day, or maybe every other day or every 2 days.
Yeah.
And then we have to wear masks pretty much everywhere we go, unless you're like working out or throwing a bullpen pretty much.
So if you leave the complex, if you want to get out, like you go play golf, like are you wearing a mask to golf, and then maybe once you get on the course you can take it off and you're good? Like
I mean, in and around the pro shop, yeah, but like when you're out there, we were pretty much play with guys like we see every day, and we're getting tested with anyway, so it kind of keeps the circle tight like that. We're not
right.
It's kind of like be smart about it, be responsible.
Yeah. Now, are you able, you got your own room? You got some privacy, or do they give you a roommate for something like this?
No. Yeah, they put us alone. You're allowed to go wherever you want, but I got a late invite, so I wasn't able to plan like a house to rent or anything. So stuck up at the hotel till one comes available.
Yep.
But I think I'm gonna get one locked down though for the next once I get extended down here for the minor league spring training. I'm gonna get a house locked down. I'm not sitting in here no more.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea, and there's some good spots around there for sure. Again, it's a great area. Is there anybody you're talking about going out playing golf with Manoah and Clavacine and guys? Is there anybody that's been here early in the early going, been like a good mentor to you, somebody that's really kind of been really helpful with your first spring training?
I would say Nate Pearson. We've just been friends for a little bit going back. Had some experiences in high school, played on the same travel coach and stuff, this and the other. So it's been good to just, have a familiar face in the organization that you can ask questions to, and still young enough to relate to, so.
I bet.
Good guy to talk to.
Yeah. I would think he's got a lot after coming up through the organization, and now he's sort of established as, he's there. He's a big leaguer. He's going to expect to be there year in and year out. He's gone through what you're about to go through, right?
Absolutely, yeah. It's only a couple years apart in age, so yeah, no, he's definitely in the big leagues. So I'm so happy for him. But yeah, he's been good to ask questions too, and just had to lean on for sure.
Now, back at Florida State last year, tell me what that situation was like. Just having the season interrupted. I think you made 4 starts. Looking forward into that season and all that the team could accomplish, and just having interrupted, like what's going through your mind with something like that? That's just got to be, that's just got to be terrible.
Yeah, no, our first thought as a team, from to be honest, we were like happy. Like we thought we were going to get like a couple 2 weeks off and everything was going to be okay.
Little vacation.
Go back. Yeah. And then, like it kind of all sudden we were like packing up our lockers and stuff. And I was like, damn, like, like if I ended up getting picked up, like this might be the last time I ever like play with some of these kids again, or everywhere like going and goal for that matter. So like that kind of hit pretty hard. And it's now I'm playing right now, so it's like not really like I miss it, but it's not like something I think about every day, just because I'm in this now and like you kind of turn the page. But
yeah,
definitely it definitely hurt.
Yeah, you move on. I think everybody like when it started hitting, you started to think about all of the college athletes and the high school athletes that, whether they were seniors or coming to the end of their careers, not going to get their last game properly, not going to have a senior night, not going to have any of that. It just sort of abruptly ended. It was really cool. Did you see what Scott Van Pelt was doing on his show where he was doing senior night? He did that for a couple of months where basically they just every night during his show featured, you could send in tapes of high school seniors that didn't get a senior night and sort of celebrated them, put them on the spotlight on SportsCenter. It was a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, I think I do remember seeing that.
Now, when you were coming up, was there anybody that you modeled your game after? Was there anybody that you watched and that sort of got that spark going in you that you wanted to go down this road? Who's sort of your idols, if you will? Who were you watching and wanted to model your game after?
To be honest, like I was just so like just envious of them and the big leaguers, and just wanting, just being that like little kid like at the field, wanting every autograph and stuff like. And I still think about that still. So like, really put my finger on like one person. I didn't even really want to pitch till like I was a junior in high school. Like I just played shortstop and stuff until I found out I could throw a little bit hard, and then I could hopefully fine tune it, make something out of it, since I couldn't hit for crap. So.
Well, it's good that you were able to pitch then. That's a nice way to fall back.
Yeah, you got to pick one at that age. So.
Yeah. I think shortstop's the fun position. Doesn't everybody kind of want to play shortstop? Like, and
absolutely. And I was holding my own until everybody started throwing 90 miles an hour, and then it kind of went downhill.
And then you started throwing 90 miles an hour.
Yeah, I picked the right side of the ball to stay on.
Yeah. Now, is there any, outside of baseball, what sports? I think, am I right? You like golf? What other sports are you into outside of baseball?
Just pretty much golf. That's about it.
I want to get your thoughts on the Tiger Woods situation today. I think that's kind of captured everybody in the sports world. Just that. Having that accident, the 2 broken legs, the whole thing that he's going to have to go through. What are your thoughts on the whole Tiger Woods situation for a second?
When we were playing golf. Phil had brought it up on his phone and told us, and we were kind of in the midst of having a good time and not really wanting to think about that, and didn't really keep up with it until now. I didn't know he had 2 broken legs. I knew it was serious, but damn, like that just adds it. Like I want to see him play again and be good and win. But like, being 40, whatever he is, it's going to be tough to rehab 2 broken legs and then, compete with all these young guys hitting at 300 every time. So,
and that's where I'm thinking, he may be able. He'll get back. He'll be walking again. He'll be active again. Yeah. But will he be the Tiger Woods? Like, will he want to play golf if he can't be Tiger Woods? Is my thinking. It's like, is he going to want to go out there and not have a chance to win?
No. I saw this documentary or whatever on HBO about him, and that was, I think, just after watching that, it gave me a new little like mindset about him and just the competitor he is, and came up being and just grew up. Now his dad like just forced the competitiveness on him, so I think that definitely plays into his decision, and I don't think he would want to compete at a level he wouldn't be comfortable with. But no, he'll definitely be able to go ride around and drink beer, smoke cigars with his friends, and gamble. So he'll be okay to do that.
Yeah, he'll be able to do all the off the field stuff. I hope he can make a comeback. I really do. I think that would be just like you said. I want to see him play. I want to keep him. I want to keep that up. Outside of Tiger, I think everybody loves Tiger. Do you have a favorite on the PGA Tour?
I think he was. I think he is everyone's favorite, but probably besides him, I would say I don't know. I like seeing. I don't know. I want to see like Ricky win again because he's been falling off a lot. Like I just like watching him play, and I like what he's like, kind of how he's changed his swing to kind of be better, and I want to see the results come from that. He's a good golfer. He's too good not to be winning. So
it seems like he's always in the mix. Like he's always in the mix. But it's so competitive right now with those guys that are in their 20s. That just that group that Justin Thomas and Jordan and everybody. It's such a competitive group right now but he's always in the mix, and I do feel like he'll get one. I feel like, I don't know why, but I feel like he'll kind of be like a Bubba Watson, where he's one of those guys that's always just around, and then he gets a couple tournaments, big ones, that he gets through. He finally breaks through, and Bubba did that a couple times.
Yeah, I hope so.
Anything? Do you kind of is golf your thing? Like baseball's what you do, but golf is your thing?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I'm not good enough to really like have it be my thing yet, but I'm working on it. You know, and I want it to be. I enjoy playing it. I kind of take it seriously, but
yeah,
I just want to be good enough to where, like, I don't know, I can only bring 3 balls and play wherever I want, and not have to worry about, breaking 80 or whatever. So I just want to be that good.
I had an idea, and I want it to happen. Completely, this might be a complete left turn, but it's still golf related. I want to see, and I want to get your thought on this. I want to see Tony Romo, who does the CBS football. I want to see him with Jim Nantz on Sundays doing golf too. Yeah. I don't know why, but Romo golfs. I think that Romo could probably bring that same analogy style that he has with football and bring it into golf. I would love to see Tony Romo doing golf with Jim Nantz. I mean, tell me, wouldn't that be great?
No, yeah, absolutely. I think he can compete with some of the guys like at the back end of the school. So like, I mean, he's knowledgeable about the game, and like he can definitely tie it all together, and with 3 or 4 years of broadcasting experience now, I guess too. So
yeah, he could do it.
To the door with that, yeah, no doubt.
He could do it. Well, I promised that we would keep this to about 15 minutes, and we're getting to be about there. I want to hold you to what we talked about, because again, I appreciate you coming on. I'd love to have you come back on and break down. We've got the Masters in less than 2 months now. Yeah, it's kind of like one of the things. COVID was terrible, but it did give us the Masters twice in 6 months. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'd love to have you come back on and we can break down the Masters in a couple of months and see how things are going then. If you're open to that, I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, man.
CJ, thank you for taking some time out, battling traffic to get in there and to join us here on the BALLCAP Nightcap on this Tuesday night. Thank you, buddy.
No, thank you guys for having me, man.
All right, have a good one. Take care and good luck.
Hey, I appreciate it. Take it easy.
All right, CJ Van Ike, everybody. Thank you to CJ for being here. That was awesome. And again, thank you to everybody for the patience. Kyle just said it. Thank you to everybody for the patience with the whole absolutely crazy spam thing. Eric, come on back, my friend. Come on back. I see you hanging out in the chat. Come on back. Let's do this thing. Let's get into the National League. We are going to go through the National League and give our over-unders. Again, I appreciate everybody for hanging out during that just ridiculous spam thing, but we are through it. I hope you enjoyed the conversation there with CJ. That was a lot of fun, and I do want to get him to come back. I would love to have him come back, and we can talk some Masters with him. So that was fun. All right, let's get him in here. We're going to jump right to it again. Thank you, everybody, for that. Eric, welcome in, my friend.
Hey, ¿qué pasa?
Woo, we had a rough one there. That was I think you hopped in right as everything was going crazy.
No, that was me. Sorry about that.
That was you. That was your fault.
That was me. I was just trying to hold the channel down a little bit, but no, I don't know who that was, but he was on my channel too a while back. So
I saw it on Tyler. Yeah, I saw it on Tyler. I popped on Tyler's stream, and it was in there. There's someone going or someone or something.
He's hitting all the the growing baseball channels. I don't know. It's one of I don't know. I don't even know. It's kind of weird.
It is.
It's weird because it's like, dude, am I that important? I don't think so.
Well, it's the same. It was the same one. It just kept changing, like the accounts. It was the same. I mean, it was whatever it is. They had a system set up.
No, they did. Oh, they did it to me. They did, and it was Mets. It was a Mets spammer when I back in the regular season, and it was bad. That was the worst I've ever seen. You held your composure pretty good.
I mean, it's coming so fast. It's like I got Kyle, I got David, I got Tyler. They got to try to knock it out. So again, I appreciate that, and again, everybody that is here, hit the like if you enjoyed the CJ Van Ike interview. If you're just now getting in and maybe missed it, there will be a replay of that, and I'm going to also snip and snap and cut that out, and that'll be a standalone video for anybody that wants to see it after. I've really enjoyed talking with him. Seemed like a really cool dude, actually. So I hope that we can get him on for some more streams down the road. But
that's a good job. You're getting him on the channel. That's good, man.
I'm excited. And his buddy is Nate Pearson. That's pretty cool. I just love the connections that he can talk. He's talking about how he's playing golf with Manoah and Kloffenstein, and he's buddies with Nate Pearson. That's pretty cool. That just that, just to have that kind of connection there that he's got is pretty cool. But we are going to dive into the National League, and we're going to do it with some better information. Robbie Hyde and I last week went through the American League, and we were basing it on that Baseball Prospectus win number. And we are going to talk about it, but we've actually got the DraftKings. I'll put it up real quick for everybody to look at. We've got the DraftKings fantasy sports numbers. These are the win numbers. So don't pay attention to the order that they're in. Mets, it's the Braves. I just put the win totals in, so those don't match up. But you have the National League East, National League Central, National League West, all of the wins that are projected. So we will be going through that. We'll kind of hop in and out and do all of that. And we'll go through the National League. And when we are going through it, everybody that's in the chat, thank you for being here. Again, hit that like if you're ready to dig into this National League, and subscribe. If this is the first time you're finding the channel, please subscribe and join this community that I call BALLCAP Nation. We are going to dig into this. You guys in the chat, participate. This is a participation portion of the stream. When we get a number, you guys let us know, is it over? Are you going over that number or under that number? So let's do this. I want to get right to the National League West, and we're going to get to your team in just a second. Let's start with the Colorado Rockies. 64.5 wins for the Rockies. What do you think? Are they going to go over that or under that? They trade Nolan Arenado away. There's a very good chance they're going to make more trades. Story could go. If Story says, I'm not re-signing, Story could get dealt. Marquez could get dealt. What do you think about the Rockies in that 64.5?
64. So what's half of 162? That's 81. So that's pretty low. That's the win total.
It's low, but it's not. They're not projecting them to
How many
lose
losses?
100 games.
Okay.
They wouldn't be projected to lose 100 games.
Yeah. Because that'd be 162. So that's like 98.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good projection. I'm trying to think of the rotation. You got Freeland, and he was a little bit better, but John Gray. Yeah, they got that nice lineup. I'd be but they got to play the Dodgers. They got to play the Padres.
Yeah,
they got to play.
They're in that division.
They got to play the Giants. Not that we're that great, but no, I think that's. I'm gonna say they are gonna be. They're gonna win 65 games.
You got them there. I got them losing 100 games. Zachary with the 61 and 101. I think that could be it. I do think it's under. I think that they will end up making another. I think they will end up trading another asset away, whether it's Blackmon or whether it is Story or Marquez. I think they will trade an asset away that will bring them down and will make it hard. And I think the Dodgers win more than 101. And I think the Padres win. I'm giving it away. I'm spoiling it. I'm sorry, everybody, but I think the National League West, there are more wins to be had, and the Rockies aren't going to get them. So I think it comes at the expense of the Rockies. So I'll go under the Rockies. Right. Let's get to your team. 75.5. Go. What do you think?
75.5. So I'm trying to think 162 games minus 70. I'm just trying to get an idea. Okay. So that's not bad, actually. I'm pretty sure I might be happy with, but let me see. Giants. Man, I'm just so worried about our rotation. I don't know what we're going to get out of these guys. We did pick up some good guys in the offseason, like this Lafani, a couple other guys. But, what are we going to get out of Cueto? What are we going to get out of Gosman? What are we going to get out of Logan Webb?
Right.
It's just, the guys are shaky. They're not obviously Cueto's established, but he's a little past his prime. So Man, I can't say under for my own team, so I'm going to go 77 wins for the Giants.
I like that. I'm going to go over as well. I think the Giants will win more than 75.5 games. I think that they could push being a 500 team. And the only way they don't is if they are just so far out of it and they decide to cash in on Kevin Gausman and trade him, and if Descalfini's pitching well, they'll trade him. That's the way that I think they maybe fall out of that, 81 win category, is if they decide that they need to make some trades. This could be the year.
Yeah.
This could be the year Brandon Crawford could get traded this year. I think that they're going to build around Yastrzemski, you would think, but I think it's a safe over. As long as they keep the team intact.
Yeah, actually, I got a little confused on the math. So 81 is half. So yeah, I'll go with 81 wins. But yeah, definitely over.
Yeah. All right. So next up is Arizona, 74.5. Arizona's in an interesting situation. They're kind of a tweener, and nobody likes to be a tweener, because that means you're not winning enough games to make the playoffs and you're not losing enough games to get a great draft pick. Bumgarner, what are they going to get from Bumgarner? Gallen looks like he's good, but the bullpen is deep. It's interesting. I love Ketel Marte. I think Peralta could have a good year. They brought Calhoun in the year before. They've got Varsho, the kid. The 74 is a tough one for me. What do you think? Rocky Adams. Quick shout out to Rocky Adams for the super chat. Thank you. If healthy, what can you expect from Aaron Sanchez? What do you think about that? Because Aaron Sanchez did just get signed.
Yeah, Giants. I heard about that. That was a pretty nice signing. The Giants needed to get some more depth there, but I don't know. I don't. He's not the biggest name or anything. It's a $4 million deal. I mean, he's going to have some good games and some bad. He's still young. I think he's about 28. So and he was more about him than I do probably. So
he's just got to get. He was inconsistent. He was having these blister problems constantly and just couldn't get right. So I think that if he's in a good situation, there is still potential for him to get right for sure.
I mean, he was a big prospect. He was a pretty high prospect.
He was. He was a high prospect, and he had an amazing season back in 17 or 16 or 18. I can't remember which year it was. He did have a great season. I mean, how it goes down with Aaron Sanchez, he's in a spot now where it's prove it time, and I think he'll be focused.
I mean, I'm more excited about it. Well, last year we picked up Tyler Anderson, and he ended up being pretty good for us. So the Giants they do a good job of finding these just decent pitchers. They'll come in and I'm like, who's this guy? Or even Drew Smiley. Who's this guy? He comes in and looks awesome. So yeah, I mean, we needed that. We needed someone else like that.
Yeah.
But we're talking about the Diamondbacks. I don't know.
Diamondbacks 74.5. What do you think?
Well, I said I gave over for the Rockies. I give over. I can't just give over for everybody. So Diamondbacks, their rotation kind of scared me. I know, like Caleb Smith is a guy, and he had a nice ERA last year. But you look at that short sample size, kind of it messes things up. He only pitched about 20 innings, so I don't believe Caleb Smith's going to have an ERA on 2. And after that, they give up a lot of home runs. They got Luke Weaver and Bumgarner. Give up a lot of. I mean, hopefully Bumgarner will be better, but till I see it, I don't know. I'm hoping, but I'm rooting for Bumgarner to do well, even though he's in the division. But I don't want to see that. I don't want to see him, with that 7 or 6 ERA. But no, I'm going to say, since I gave over for the Giants, over for the Rockies, D-backs too. A lot of guys were so good in 19, like Ketel Marte, and then they had down years. It's still a lot has to go right for them. But they do have the talent, but I'm going to say under. I'll give them 72 wins.
Yeah, the 74.5 is just interesting because it is a losing record. I'm going to go slightly under as well. I think if the Giants are going to be pushing a 81 win situation, I think we're going to take the Diamondbacks down a notch by a couple. All right, let's look at the Padres. 94.5. Really, I guess the question is, do we think there's two teams in the National League West that could win 100 games? Because that's almost what we'd be looking at if we're going to go much over this number. We know the moves they made. They made the big trades. They bring in Darvish, and they bring in Snell, and they sign Ha-Sung Kim, and they did all that. They shore up the bullpen with Melanson.
Oh man,
they made the they made the move for Musgrove. They've got Lamet coming back healthy. It's just
where they getting all this money is what I want to know.
I don't know where they're getting the money. That's a great question. So what do we think? 94.5 for San Diego. I'll go first this time. I am going to go over. I think that they will beat up on the other three teams. I think when they leave the division, they will beat up on that Central, and I think they will be able to push and get close to 100 wins. Yeah. So I'm going to go over for the Padres. How about you?
Yeah, because the Padres are just they're hungry too. The Dodgers just won a World Series. I think there is a little bit of that World Series hangover thing is somewhat real. And I'm not saying they don't want to win and they're not going to go out there and try their best, but they accomplished their goal. They won a World Series, and the Padres are just hungry. They have an absolutely stacked roster. That difference looked a little too much of a difference with 94 wins and then the Dodgers over 100. I think they're closer than that. I'm not saying the Padres are better on paper, but maybe they are. That's damn close. I think I'm going to give the Padres more than 94. I think they're going to push 100.
Okay. So we are both over on the Padres. Now it's time to go to Dodger Town. 101.5, the highest win total in the National League. Makes sense. It goes to the Dodgers. They bring Bauer in. Price is maybe back. He opted out last year. You got to think he's going to want to play this year, get that full contract. So you have Price back. The bullpen, they re-signed Trinan. They bring in Tommy Kahnle and Corey Knebel. They bring back Justin Turner. So basically, the offense is back. The offense that led the majors in home runs last year is back, and the rotation is better. What do you think? What do you think about the Dodgers in that 101.5?
Man, that's on paper, I think that they are definitely, I would say, over. The only thing is, like I said, just coming off a World Series, I'm just, they haven't. They've had pretty good luck with injuries. Maybe they'll have some. I don't know. I'm not hoping for that, but I'm just saying. I'm just thinking of that rotation's insane. Kershaw, Buehler,
it's crazy.
Price, Urias, and even if worst case scenario, you got to face Dustin May. He's throwing at 100 miles an hour. And then they got other guys who can start that are end up in the bullpen.
Well, that's it. If they do have some injuries, they can absorb it. Yeah, that's what the Bauer signing did. Is it made it so they can absorb it. Let's say Clayton Kershaw goes down. Okay, that's fine. Let's say David Price opts out. Okay, that's fine. They can absorb it. If they end up in a situation where they have May, Urias, and Gonsolin all starting, I still think they're going to be okay. Yeah. And the same thing on offense. Let's say that somebody gets hurt there. Let's say two guys get hurt there. They can absorb it. They have so much talent. They're so deep. So
Turner gets hurt. They throw in Edwin Rios. So, man, 101 wins. I think that, like I said, I'm going to give the Padres those extra wins. I think the Dodgers. I think they'll get to 100. I'm going to give them 100 even. I mean, I know that they're an unbelievable team, but I'm going to give them 100 even. I'm going to say under.
Okay, I'm going to go over. I think the Dodgers go to 103, 104, 105. I think the Padres, I think there is room for two teams to win 100 games in the National League West. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. It'll come at the expense of the Rockies. They're going to lose more than 64.5. The Diamondbacks will lose more than 74.5. And the Giants, I think, will win a couple more. So that's where I find those wins anyway. With the Dodgers and the Padres, I find them from Colorado and Arizona.
Well, that's good.
And we'll find a couple more in the Central that we're going to go under as well. Let's move to the Central. Let's go to the Pirates. Is it even possible to go lower than 59.5? Can we? Is that even possible? But then if you don't say that, that means you're going over 59.5. Yeah. 59.5 means they're losing 100 games. That's Central. What your thoughts? What do you think?
Pirates they got rid of their two best pitchers, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Jamison Taillon
and maybe their best hitter,
Musgrove, and Josh
Bell's traded.
Gone. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm having a hard time. They got Adam Frazier. I don't even know who they got.
They got Frazier. They got Moran. They've got
Brian Reynolds. Brian Reynolds, a former Giants prospect.
I think they've got Reynolds. Brian Reynolds.
Yeah, Brian Reynolds.
I'm going to pull up the depth chart now.
Yeah.
They got Ke'Bryan Hayes, though.
Ke'Bryan Hayes, of course, he's their best player.
He's going to be fun to watch.
He's a stud. Ke'Bryan Hayes in the rotation, yeah. Mitch Keller. I haven't done my preview on the Pirates, but I've looked into them, and I can't see them winning. Now they got to play against the Cardinals, who are going to be good. The Reds are still pretty good. They still even without Bauer.
Yep.
And that division is Brewers here. They still got talent. So Brewers with those two relief pitchers are Hader and Devin Williams, and good rotation. And I'm missing a team. The Cubs. Cubs are always going to have talent. So I'm going to say under.
Blue Jays fans, Anthony Alford is currently #1 center fielder on the depth chart for the Pirates on MLB.com. Maybe Anthony Alford gets some run with the Pirates as their center fielder.
Anthony Alford, okay.
I'm gonna go under just by one or two games. I think they did a good job, and I think they nailed it with that number. Yeah. But I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna make it like 57. So let's move.
It's a long season. I mean, they're gonna
get roughed up.
Get worn down. Yeah.
So what do you think about the Reds? 82.5 on the Reds. It looked like the Reds were in complete sell mode, break it down mode. They traded Raisel Iglesias away for basically nothing. And then there was talk of Sonny Gray and Luis Castillo and Eugenio Suarez, but that dried up quick. What are your thoughts on the Reds? They still got Moustakas, Votto's there. They've got Castellanos, deep fly ball to left, and that's going to make it 4-0. What do we think about? What do you think about the Reds in 82.5?
Oh man, no, Reds are still. I like the Reds. I like their lineup was just had a tough time last season, but I did some deep investigative work into why they were so bad, and I think it was some bad luck, shortened season, and they were having trouble. Balls weren't falling, and I think they're still good. I mean, I like the Reds. I like their rotation. Even without Bauer, they still got decent arms there, and then they got Malley. Malley's pretty good.
Yep.
And they got Amir Garrett. Amir Garrett might be their closer now.
He's gonna be the guy.
So they got and they did get somebody. I can't remember who it was, but they did get someone from the Angels in that trade. Not as good as it's a terrible trade, not as good as Iglesias. But
no, they got nothing. They basically got nothing.
They got a relief
I'm looking
pitcher.
to see who it is.
I'm not saying he's good.
No way Ramirez.
Yeah, that's him. He's not great.
They signed Sean Doolittle for nothing, right? It's $1 million.
They got Doolittle, who was terrible, lost his velocity, but it's a name. But what was their number again? What was the over-under?
It was 82.5.
So that's almost 500, just a little over 500.
Yep.
I'm going to go over on that.
Okay. I am going to – this is a tricky one. I'm going to go under. I'm going to say they're about a 79, 78 win team. And I think that, after – Gray and Castillo, it'll get kind of shady, and I just don't see. I mean, I could see if they look like they're out of it, I could see them completely packing up shop and trading Moustakas away and maybe making that Sonny Gray trade. I could see that happening. This is one of those teams, Blue Jays fans. This is what we're watching. This is one of the teams that we're watching because if the Reds are struggling. if they don't look like they're going to hang in that Central, this is a potential trade piece if the Blue Jays need it. If they need it, they'll call the Reds and talk to them about Sonny Gray if the Reds are falling out of this thing. So that's one to watch. I'm going to pick the Reds to go slightly under. Let's go to the Cardinals, 86.5. I'll come right out and say it. This seems a little low to me. I think they can push 90 just because of that division. And, as long as when the Dodgers and Padres come to town, they can hold their own, I think they're going to be okay. I'm going to give the Cardinals, I'm going to push 90. I'm going to go over for the Cardinals. How about you?
Oh yeah, Cardinals are they're pumped up right now. The Arenado deal and they got a nice team and Flaherty, Kim, they got a good rotation. But yeah, 100%. That does look a little low. I'm gonna go. Yeah. Well, I think they'll be in the 90s. I think I got them, winning the division pretty much. So definitely Cardinals. Definitely Cardinals over.
Cardinals over for both of us. Let's go to the Cubs. 79.5 on the Cubs. Isn't that something? That they're still projected to be in the mix after how this whole, the whole offseason went, non-tendering Schwarber and letting Lester go. Now, you could argue Lester's on the downside now. They still have Hendricks. They got Zach Davies in the trade for Darvish, which is a nice piece, but still is not going to be Darvish. And some other pieces here that will be okay. Kimbrel, if he can figure it out, we know he can be great closing games if he can get it together. But this is another team that if it's not going well, they could pull the trigger on Contreras or Bryant or Baez or Hendricks. And that's why I'm going to go under. Because if there's a chance that they just, pull the cord on the whole season and trade away a couple guys. This is another team, Blue Jays fans, watch how the Cubs are performing because that's, that Kyle Hendricks situation could come into play if the Blue Jays need it. Or, I mean, anybody, not just Toronto, anybody that needs it might be calling the Cubs about Kyle Hendricks. What do you think about the Cubs? I'm going under 79.5. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, they pretty much blew their whole rotation up and pretty much lost everyone. I don't think that rotation was strong enough to trade away Yu Darvish and then expect to, keep competing, especially because their offense kind of struggled. Offense wasn't that great in 2020, even though they were winning. Chris Bryant hadn't been himself for a little while. Still good, but Javi Baez didn't hit that great. So I'm sure they'll be better. They'll be better because 2020 was weird for everyone, so there were some down years. But they still, the rotation. Did they pick up Arrieta? Right? No. Yep. Yes, Arrieta. Yeah.
Yes.
So they got Arrieta, but he's probably past his prime. So. No, definitely. I got. So I'm going to give the Cardinals plenty more wins. I got to go under somewhere else. So I'm going to go under on the Cubs.
So both going under on the Cubs. Now the Brewers. 82.5. Just like the Reds. But here's the thing. I don't think the Brewers pull the plug. If the Reds are struggling, they could pull the plug. They could rip the cord and start trading some guys. The Brewers aren't going to do that. The Brewers are going to try to compete no matter what. In my opinion, Hader's not going anywhere just based on his contract situation. Hader's not going anywhere. Yelich isn't going anywhere. So as long as the core, their main guys are staying put, they're going to try to compete with them. So 82.5 feels good. So I'm going to have the Cardinals winning it. I'm going to have the Brewers in second. So I'm going to give the Brewers a winning record. So I'm going to go over 82.5 by maybe a game or two, but put me over on the Brewers here. How about you?
I like the Brewers, but I'm going over on the Reds. I see they both have the same. I'm giving the Reds those extra wins. Giving the Cardinals a bunch of extra wins. So I got to go. I think that's very close. I got them at. I was thinking around 500, so that's a little over 500. So I'm going to go 81 wins. That'd be 500. Okay. So I'm going to go just slightly under, and that could change. Yelich could come out and hit 50 home runs. I don't. But if he plays like he did last year, definitely under.
Right. Yeah, he's the key. If he's hitting, if he's powering that offense, then I think that they'll be in the mix. They're going to get their games against the Pirates. If nothing busts a slump like a 3-game set against the Pirates. Sorry, Pirates. I mean, that's just the way it is right now. If the Blue Jays were in that position, I'd say that about the Blue Jays. But unfortunately, that's just the way it is right now. So we've done the West, we moved to the Central, we're done with that one. We moved to the East. And as we do, I just want to remind everybody to make sure you hit the like if you're enjoying this conversation about the National League. If you're here, you're hanging out, you haven't hit the like yet, please do hit the like. It helps out a lot. And subscribe if you're just finding it for the first time, the channel. Come on and join and be a part of this community that we're building. BALLCAP Nation would love for you to subscribe if, again, you're just finding us for the first time. All right, let's get into the National League East. Let's start with the Marlins. 70.5. I feel like that's about right. I have said for weeks now that they're going to be the toughest last place team in baseball, and 70.5 wins is going to be tough. That means they're going to be competing. I think that 70 feels about right. It's hard for me to go over or under on this. If I had to go away, I'm going to go under, but I'm going to basically kind of cheat. I'm going to go over by like 1 game. I'm going to say that they're going to be a 69 win team. Where do you fall on the Marlins?
Yeah, a lot of it depends on how those pitchers, how their sophomore years go. Or I don't know if it's sophomore years, but those are young guys.
They're young,
yeah. Contra, Sanchez, Pablo Lopez, Eliezer Hernandez, their whole rotation pretty much. I mean, if those guys continue to be good, I got them way over. But I'm pretty sure there'll going to be some decline, at least on a couple of those guys. So I do think. And plus, with all the competition, Braves and whatnot, they're just not quite ready. Last year was a shortened season, so that was awesome to see them in the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be in the playoffs again, but not in 21. But I do think that 70 is a little low. I'm going to say over.
All right, I like it. I like that you're believing in the fish. Sandy Alcantara was pitching well down the stretch last year. So was Pablo Lopez. Sixto Sanchez might be one of the players I'm most excited to see again this year. So I can't wait for that. William Fulgham, thank you for the super chat. My friend, I appreciate that. Rookie of the Year and Cy Young and MVP all coming from the National League East this year. William, comment in the chat. I'll put it up on the screen. Give me your Rookie of the Year, Cy Young, and MVP. Give them to me. Give them to me. I'm going to watch the chat. I'll wait for you. And we'll put your rookie, Cy, and MVP. The Rookie of the Year is going to be – I'm going to have to keep track on how they actually execute on the Rookie of the Year this year. Like, Sixto Sanchez could be Rookie of the Year. Like, technically – could Alec Baum technically win Rookie of the Year 2 years in a row? I mean, is that kind of what we're at right now?
That's weird. That's
the whole situation. All right, so we got – William has got DeGrom as the Cy Young. Okay, there's the first one.
Yeah, that's probably right.
He's right about MVP. I think MVP, Acuna could be in the conversation for MVP. There's a lot of, there's just the National League says so much. Rookie of the Year, Ian Anderson. Okay, yep, he'll still have his rookie eligibility. I mean, that's just gonna be crazy. The guys who we saw for so much of that shortened season that are still rookies, and he's got Acuna as the MVP. Okay, that is very fair. Acuna's going to be an MVP candidate for the next decade. Thank you again, William, for the super chat. That's everybody. Just a reminder. That's kind of how it works. Anybody does a super chat, you can basically take the stream over for a minute or two. You just gonna take it over for any super chats. Where were we? We gave our numbers on the Marlins. You went over. I cheated and said under by a game. Yeah. All right, let's get to the next. It is the Braves. This one's for you, William. 91.5. I could explain it, but I don't think I need to go into too much detail. I'm going to go over on 91.5. I love Acuna. I love this lineup, bringing Ozuna back. If they didn't bring Ozuna back, then I might have I'd be, having to think about it for a minute. But bringing him back into that lineup, love that. this rotation is the second coming of Maddox, Smoltz, and Glavine with Anderson, Soroka, and Fried. It is happening all over again. I mean, the Braves have won the National League East 3 straight years now, and this could be the 4th straight year. This is a situation when the National League East is supposed to be the toughest division these last couple of years, and the Braves keep winning it. This is the 90s all over again. So I'm going to go over. I think that they push up to 97, 98. So give me the over on the Braves. How about you, Eric?
Yes, 91.5. And like you said, that amazing rotation. Fried, Soroka. Soroka should be healthy soon. He's going to be awesome. They picked up Drew Smiley, who he's not the best, but he's got some nasty stuff, good strikeout stuff. Charlie Morton and pretty deep rotation, some youngsters coming up. And then, of course, like you said, the key is Osuna. What a great signing. I didn't think he was going to go to the National League. The Braves said, we don't care, DH, whatever. We don't care. We're bringing him back. I love the Braves and definitely over.
Yeah, me too. They're going to do some good things. Phillies, 80.5. I talked about this in my Braves video that I put up this morning. All 4 teams are looking at 500 or better, and I think the Phillies will be there. So give me the over by a couple of games. I think we will have a situation where 4 teams go over, not by much. Again, I'm going to put the Phillies at like 82. I think they're going to be right there. 80.5 is a good number. I would go over slightly, not over enough to bet it, but I will say over ever so slightly on the Phillies. And it's really, they bring Didi back. They get JT Realmuto back. Despite the fracture, they're saying he should be back by opening day, which is huge for them. You got to think Harper's going to have another monster year. Hoskins was going to want to bounce back. Nola at that top of that rotation. Really, the rotation is the only thing keeping them from getting into that 90-win conversation. So, but give me the Phillies a slightly over by like 1 or 2 wins.
Yeah, man, that's a close one. They've been just they stick around 500. I think last year a little below 500.
Yep.
Years before that with Gabe Kapler, 500. The bullpen is always terrible. I think they've improved it a little bit. They brought some good names over, but hey, I don't know. And the pitching a little shaky. I think with the competition with the Braves, with the Mets, I do think they're going to drop a little bit below 500. So I'm going to put them at around 79, 80 wins, just barely below.
Yeah, that's probably a good number. I'm already rethinking my over because I feel like the Braves are going to be better. The Mets are going to be an improved team year over year. The Nats are going to be in it. I'm going to change mine. I'm going to put I'm changing it. I'm going to put the Phillies down. The more I'm thinking about it, Aaron Nola's nice. Zach Wheeler is okay. And then after that, I'm worried about that rotation just getting bombed. And they didn't do enough to improve the bullpen.
No.
Hector Neris has been suspect. Archie Bradley is good, but this Phillies team, I think, needed to go out there and go get Liam Hendricks or Rosenthal or somebody like that is what I think they needed for the bullpen.
They did, at least,
So,
instead they got Sam Coonrod. Okay. So,
I know that's all. So that's my worry there. So I'm going to switch it. I'll go under for the Phillies. Let's move on to the Nationals. David Knight, are you still here, my man? There he is. David's here. 84.5 on the Nats. Let's talk about that team real quick. They look like it was just going to be a quiet situation, a ho-hum offseason, and then they started making some moves. The first one was the Josh Bell trade.
Right.
Then they bring in Schwarber. Then they bring in Lester. Really like that. The rotation now, Scherzer, Strasburg, Corbin, Lester, and then they'll figure it out with their number 5 guy. Could be Ross, could be Voth, could be Feedy. Hudson is the closer. We'll see how that works out. But they got Brad Hand as well in case that they need him.
Yeah. They got Rainey.
They've got some good pieces here. I think Garcia has a nice year. They're going to need Carter Kieboom to step up. I'm going to put the Nats I'm going to put the Nats at. Let me see. I've gone under. I'm looking at who I've gone over, who I've gone under. Let me think about the Nats for a minute. You go on the Nats. What do you think about the Washington Nationals while I think about this?
Yeah, Nationals. Let's see. So 84.5. I got the Phillies under. I got the Braves quite a bit over. I got the Marlins over. So there's going to be some losses there somewhere. And I mean, they got, of course, Trey Turner. They got a nice lineup, but I don't know if there's enough. What Josh Bell helps, but I was going to say I don't know if there's just enough thump there. I know they won a World Series recently. That was amazing.
Well, with Soto, you can't forget about Soto.
How did I forget Soto?
So they have to get the lineup right. Yeah. And it was something I think I saw David either retweeted or I got a notification or something about the Nats, how they were talking about how Davey thinks that Trey can be more effective if he's not in that leadoff spot, which I agree with 1,000,000%. He's got the speed, which you love that as a table setter, but he's got pop, and you want people on base in front of him. So Victor Robles or Luis Garcia, if he can figure it out, I don't know if you want to throw a kid like Garcia into that leadoff spot. They've also got Stevenson, who might have a tough time getting on the field now that Schwarber's there. I don't know. I would love to see Turner down a little bit, and that's going to be, a big part. I think the lineup with the additions of Schwarber and Bell, they filled the holes that they had last year, and that's going to be a big piece.
Yeah, this should be decent, definitely. And what was it, 82?
84.5.
84.5. I think
that's what makes it tough. If it was 82, I'd say over.
Yeah. That's just if I was guessing a record, I'd probably say 84 wins. So
yeah,
just over 500. So I guess I'm going under.
Going under. David, what do you think? I know you're in the chat. David, what do you think? Are you going over or under, David? 84.5. I am going to. I'm going to think about. The Marlins, Phillies. I can't say over for everybody. I mean, I'm saying over for so many teams here. I guess the National League is just going to dominate the interleague matchup here to make these over-unders make sense for me. I'll say under. I'm going to say under by just a couple games. That's going to be. I'm going to say they're going to be like 82. It's a good number. It's a good number. I'm going to go under slightly on the Nats as we wait for David's number. All right, while we're waiting for David's number, let's get to the Mets. 90.5. They bring in Francisco Lindor. This team had the number 3 OPS in all of baseball last year, missed the playoffs because the pitching was concerned. They go out and they bring in Carlos Carrasco as a part of that deal with Francisco Lindor. They bring in David's got him slightly under. Okay, I didn't see it before. Thank you, David. You bring in Walker and Yamamoto, and you hope Peterson takes a step. So I think the Mets are going to go over. I think that the Braves can get to 97, 98. I think the Mets can get to 93, 94. So give me the Mets. Give me the over. Yeah. What do you think?
Now, I think it's funny because I think Mets fans are thinking it's going to be a 100-win season. So I think they'll be disappointed.
If they were in the National League Central, it would be.
Yeah. So the Mets have done so much. I know last year I picked them to win the division. I was completely wrong. So, they got new management. I think they got a new attitude. I think they're feeling more confident, and obviously they've added. I think this is it. This is the year. The Mets better go do something. Yeah. This is it right here. I do think they're going to win more than 90. I think they'll win 90, 93, 92, 93. I think that they're definitely going to have a good year. I don't think they're going to win like 100 games like Mets fans are telling me, but I'll put it over.
I think that what's going to happen too is Steve Cohen is proving that he is a doer, a go-getter, aggressive when it comes to this stuff. And if they are in a fight with the Braves, he's going to make a trade. He is 1,000%. There will be a trade that happens, and they may decide that Stroman and Walker and JD Davis off you go for, Kyle Hendricks, or there will be trades, I think, for the Mets if they are in a dogfight and they need to get over the Braves, and if a trade is the difference. So I'll take them over. I think that they will. I'm honestly, like, I would go and bet that the ones I would go. We'll go through real quick and kind of do sort of a recap. Overs that I would run out right now and bet, and unders too. What I would run out and bet. I would bet the over for the Mets. I would bet the over for the Braves. I would bet the over for the Cardinals. I would bet the under for the Rockies. That'd probably be, and I guess that would be it. Are there any on here that you would run out and you would bet today that you feel good enough that you would run out either the over or the under? Are there any that you would bet today?
Let's see. Bet maybe the Pirates. I know it sucks, but yeah, probably the Cardinals 86. I bet on the Cardinals. I bet on the Pirates. And then I hope I'm wrong on that one, so I'll be happy either way. Yeah. And then the Braves. Yeah, Braves, Cardinals, Pirates are the ones that I think I would bet on. I wouldn't bet on the Mets because the Mets just, they're the Mets. You never know.
Somehow, right? Somehow,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I to bet on the Mets over, they got to prove to me that they're, I like them to be over, but I wouldn't bet on it right now. And the Padres, I would think I might bet a little something. Not gonna go crazy. I might bet a little something on the Padres.
Yeah, I get when I think about the Mets, I just feel like Cohen, if a trade is what they need to make the playoffs, or a trade is what they need to get over the Braves and win the East, I think he's going to do it. I feel like they wanted to get they wanted to make another splash. They didn't want to just have Lindor. They were trying for everybody. They were trying for Bauer and Springer and LeMahieu, everybody, Brad Hand, you name it. They were linked to pretty much everybody. Trevor Rosenthal. They want to spend money. They want to go get players. Now, why they had trouble bringing in through free agency the big names, we don't know, right? Could have just been a classic case of overbid or just bad luck or whatever. I don't want to put the GM situation in there and then the whole, Wall Street situation in there. I don't think that had anything to do with this. I just think that maybe some bad luck. That Lindor trade turns out to be huge for them.
That was it, yeah.
That was a big one. Papa, have a good one, buddy. I see you heading out there. Thank you for being here in the stream. Everybody that is here, again, I appreciate you being here late on a Tuesday night. Thank you. And David, thank you for being David, Kyle, Rocky, guys, thank you guys for being here. And Eric, for doing this with us. Thank you for being here, my friend. What were you about? I was cutting you off. Were you about to say something?
No, you're good. Now, I was saying, like, I called the entire Mets off season pretty much, and I had a free agent, top 25 free agent video. Didn't have any of them going to the Mets. Mets fans cussed me out. That whole comment section is just called me an idiot. They said crack is a hell of a drug. This guy thinks Mets aren't getting any of these guys. And I made a follow-up video. I said, no, don't worry. Mets are going to sign James McCann, and they're also going to trade for Lindor. So you guys will be fine. And then this guy's a complete moron. That's exactly what happened. So
yeah. Well, it's nice. It's nice when you're right, and when you're right, you got to beat that drum. I nailed it last week on Trevor Rosenthal in Oakland. I don't know anybody that was here. A lot of familiar faces here. I'm enjoying this stream. We don't have a big number like we've had on a lot of these, but this is a number where I feel like the majority of everybody that's in here is a subscriber. So I'm loving that. This feels like a more intimate, personal kind of thing, because I really like that you guys are all here. So last week I told Trevor Rosenthal to go to Oakland, and then 2 days later he signed with Oakland. Now, he's not listening to the stream. He doesn't know that, but it just made so much sense. It just makes so much sense for that move to have happened because they're a team that wants to win, and he's not going to go somewhere where because he'd been linked to the Blue Jays and the Mets, and that just didn't make sense. Why would he go somewhere after busting it to get back to a closer job to go somewhere where he wasn't going to have a closer job?
Yeah.
And Oakland needed a closer, and they needed they needed him, and he needed them. I am interested. What are your thoughts? So we're kind of done with the National League West thing now. We're just going to kind of chat. What do you think about specifically Jake Odorizzi hanging out, taking this long to get a deal done? Why? My comment earlier was I don't understand why he doesn't sign because he's going to fall behind, right? Like he is going to fall behind, and wherever he goes, unless he resigns with the Twins, like he's going to have to learn their system. He's going to have to quarantine. We talked with CJ Van Ike earlier about that. The guy's got to get there a few days early to quarantine. So Jake Odorizzi is going to have to get there. He's probably going to have to quarantine for a handful of days, and then he's going to get in with the system and pitch with it. It's just a mess, an absolute mess that he hasn't signed yet. And honestly, I think the best thing for him to do is just to go back to Minnesota on a 1-year deal. I think it's been a big miss that he's still hanging out there. And he's got his reasons. I'm sure he's got his reasons on what he's doing, but
it's got to be a thing where he wants to probably get paid for his 2019. That was his big season, and then last year was just a jacked up year. I don't think his numbers were that great, but it wasn't a very big sample. Maybe he's just not getting what he wants. And he's like, screw that. Remember that? What was that? Like Craig Kimbrell that 1 year? Like it was freaking July or something.
Yeah.
And he finally signed.
There was, and I think Kimbrell was a part of it, and so was Dallas Keuchel. I think that was the same year. Those guys were tied to draft picks, where if they signed with anybody before the Major League Baseball draft that year, then that team that signed them was going to have to give up draft picks. So nobody signed them until after. I'm pretty sure Odorizzi is not attached to anything like that. So he's just trying to get the deal that he wants. And at this point, I think he should just listen. I mean, it's easier said than done, but they got to start taking the steps to just get him a job. Otherwise, it's just he's just falling behind. And I really hope that he can he gets a landing spot. I mean,
is he the biggest free agent out there left?
Biggest pitcher for sure. I think Cole Hamels is still out there. I mean, there's still some other guys that are out there, but as far as impactful, you plan for him to be in that rotation kind of guy. He's one. Mike Leake is still out there too. There's a few guys that are still out there.
So I don't know if anybody wants him.
Right. Well, I mean, and you understand why some of those guys are still hanging out there. But Odorizzi, you got to think he should have a deal. He should be signed. And then you got Jackie Bradley Jr. and Yasiel Puig.
Man, what happened to Puig? I think he's just retired.
He wants to play. He wants to play, but I don't know if it's just the personality that teams just don't like the personality. But when he's on the field, he wants to win, and he's a great talent on the field. There are teams that need outfielders. The Houston Astros could use another outfielder. Even the Braves, even the Braves with Ozuna, they could use another outfielder. Now that would
the Braves,
that would push.
They're the team that signed him last year, and then he had failed a COVID test. So I thought it would be. I definitely predicted him to go to the Braves because, they're interested anyway. They like him,
right?
Maybe not.
It would be something. That would make sense. Somebody will have an injury. It is ultimate that somebody's going to have an injury between now and opening day. That Puig or Bradley or some of these other free Edwin Encarnacion, that they'll fill those holes of an injury. But I don't think that I don't know.
Inciarte is not isn't. Mr. Drawn says Braves don't need an outfielder. We have Inciarte, but Inciarte is not that great, is he?
He's a good
fielder,
defensive. Right? He's good. He's good in the field, but
wouldn't you want some more popping? Maybe I'm wrong, but Inciarte, I don't get his stats in front of me, but
right,
maybe I'm wrong.
I could see him. I could see Puig signing with somebody quick if an injury happens.
And they also got Pache. So,
Yep.
Braves they should be fine, but yeah, you can always use more. You can always use more.
That's right. That's it. And again, but Houston is the one that stands out, and Philly. The Phillies could use them. Houston could use them. I think Jackie Bradley Jr. honestly should go to one of those two teams. But
yeah, he's still out there. Yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot of free agents still out there, but we'll see what happens.
We will see what happens. Before I let you go, Eric, why don't you tell everybody that is in here anything that you're working on that they can maybe expect to see from you, and tell them where to find you regularly.
Yeah, find me at Humm Baby Baseball. YouTube, just search it. You should be able to find it. 2 M's, Humm Baby Baseball. Yep, you'll definitely find that if you search it. But no, I'm just working on previews right now for all 30 teams. I'm doing trying to keep up, doing one every day. Sometimes I miss a day, then I throw 2 the next day. But so I'm doing 30 teams in 30 days right now, and pretty much talking Giants. I talk about things that happen on and off the field. Something crazy happened with the Mariners. I didn't even touch that topic, but
I didn't either. I'm gonna keep it on the field at this point. We got enough on the field stuff and transactional stuff. That's I'm good. Mariners, whatever, man.
You were with me on that. Then I was like, I'm out of that.
Yeah, I can't. I just saw that. And I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, I didn't even touch that. We got enough going on. We got naked pictures going to say I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
I'm done. I've already been, every time one thing like that happens, but I will usually talk about stuff like that when there's scandals or whatever. But this particular time I was like, I'll pass. Yeah. But other than that, talk baseball, pretty much 100% baseball. I'm going to do some baseball actual playing videos soon. I wanted to do it last year, but COVID and everything. So yeah. That's pretty much it.
That should be fun. Make sure you guys check out the 30 clubs in 30 days. That's some good stuff. I've been watching them too, and it's a good. I don't see anybody doing the same in-depth stuff that you're doing there. So it's worth the watch.
Yeah,
and I know you put in a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a little time consuming, but it's I like to be knowledgeable. I want to know when we go into the season.
Yeah.
If you say something, what do you think of this guy? I don't want to be like, well, I've never heard of him. So I got to make sure I know, because so many rookies or so many young guys are coming up. It's hard to keep up with all these guys.
I know. I'm with you there. You gotta. It's good to do it for the channel. It's also good to know what's going on. It's a good.
And there's teams like the Pirates and the Tigers, and forget that they're even major league teams. So.
I know. Yeah, that's true. But the videos kind of bring you back to it, because there is still stuff that we want to know about, right? With the Tigers, with Mize and Skubal and their prospects, their bats, right? With Torkelson and Green and Paredes, and then you've got the Pirates with Hayes. So it's good to know that stuff, and you're doing your homework.
And the Mariners have a good young team too. So a lot of teams are up in a weak division. So I know you already talked about the American League, but that's gonna be fun. I think AL West might be up for grabs there, because
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think so too. Let's see. We had a question, John, wondering when I'm going to be on your channel. Well, you and I messaged back and forth about me being part of a Blue Jays preview. So we're going to do that here soon. We can message offline about that. You can just let me know when you want to record that. I'm down to record that at any time. So I'll be on his channel sometime soon.
Yeah, but definitely when I put out I haven't done my Jays previews. I'm waiting. I wanted to do that with you, and I might.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I might hit up some other guy. I haven't done my Red Sox I did it with Robbie last year, my Red Sox one. I don't know if he'll want to do it, but I'm gonna hit him up too. So we'll see. Just check it out. Previews are coming. So if I might have already done your team, so whoever's in the chat,
definitely go check it out. Everyone in the chat, he might have done your team, so go check that out. Again, thank you for coming on and doing the National League over under. I'm glad we actually had the numbers that people are going to be betting. That was much better than what Robbie and I had to go off of last week with that baseball prospectus thing. But anyway, everybody make sure you check out Humm Baby Baseball and on Twitter and on YouTube. And again, Eric, thank you very much for coming and joining on on this late Tuesday. Not late for you because you're on the West Coast, but late for us East Coasters.
Yeah, it's gotta be like midnight, right?
We're getting there. It's close. It's almost Wednesday here. Living in the future. All right.
All right, Aaron. Appreciate it.
Have a good one, buddy.
All right. Peace.
All right. This has been a fun one tonight. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I almost, it's funny. Myself, just because of how this whole evening is gone, I'm looking forward to going back and watching the CJ Van Ike interview, having to just kind of roll right through that. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys enjoyed Eric and going through the National League. And we kind of keep on rolling as we get close to the season, get close to 2021, get going. And this time next week when we come on here, we'll actually have some games that we'll be able to talk about. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. Ernie, thank you for that. That was fun, Kyle. World Travelers in Houston, 1043. I go to the Central a lot. I used to before the COVID thing. Would go to the Central a lot because my wife's family is in Iowa, and it's kind of fun to jump back an hour. You don't get the jet lag thing like if you go all the way to the west, or if you're from west coming east, it just all messes you up. But if you go back just 1 hour, it's kind of nice. So anyway, there's my thoughts on time travel, if you will. When am I having Springer on? Hey, we'll keep working on it. He's got to either follow me back on Twitter or open up his DMs, which probably isn't going to happen. Zachary, thank you. Have I seen a recent picture of Teoscar Hernandez, Rocky? I have not. Is he looking yoked as well? Is he looking as yoked as Springer is? I mean, this is where's Springer? Is he looking at anything like that? Springer's going to hit 50 bombs. I mean, that's coming. That is going to happen. Not 50, but he's going to hit. He's going to be a beast. Let me see here. So, anybody that is hanging out here hasn't hit the like yet, please take a chance, take an opportunity to hit the like. If you're just finding it for the first time, make sure to subscribe. I think pretty much everybody in here is a subscriber at this point. Again, I appreciate everybody. My initial reaction to the Springer signing, I was excited. I don't want to call it euphoric, but I was excited. You can see it. I've got it. We were live when that happened. We were doing Springer Watch. So anybody that wants to see that, we were doing Springer Watch. And in fact, Tyler from Wardy NYM was here, and we were talking. We were doing Springer Watch. So you can check that out. What's coming up next? So I'm going to continue the spring training series. That is going to get kicked back up. I think tomorrow I'll do some more recording for that. Probably a couple more teams that will do the how, the why, that they'll win their divisions. And then from there, I do plan on getting into talking about some of the content, the games. Talking about some of the games, what's actually happening on the field, taking and editing. If anybody didn't see the Kamar Rocker player lock that I did yesterday, that's kind of a feel for what you can expect for some of the debuts when some prospects make their debuts, when Blake Snell pitches for the Padres for the first time. I'll do a player lock where I basically take their game. If you play MLB The Show, player lock kind of makes sense. You do the My Career and you do the player lock. So there'll be player locks for guys making debuts with their new teams and when prospects are called up. So that Kamar Rocker thing is something that you'll see more of that. And let's see what else we got. Let's see here. Okay, Ben Nicholson Smith with the Springer. I'm looking at Twitter right now. Teoscar has been lifting weights in the offseason. Boy's going to hit some homers. Thanks for sending that over. Again, anybody that wants to send me anything, I'm on Twitter at Jim Riley Live. Happy to chat over there when I'm not live on here. So again, at Jim Riley Live on Twitter. So there'll be some player locks. David Knight, have a good night. So we'll have the player locks. We'll continue with some of the spring training stuff. I'm going to do some simulations when the new version of Baseball Mogul comes out. I am in camp baseball mogul. I just don't do out of the park. They're in my opinion, they're both good. But we're going to do the simulations to get some 2021 predictions for player performance and team performance. We'll get into that in March. So we're just going to dive into spring training mode here, and that's kind of how we're going to rock. So again, David, thank you, and Kyle, thank you. All of my moderators that were in here to help with that spam issue earlier. Thank you for your help with that. I appreciate that. That got completely out of control. But again, thank you guys. So I think we're going to wind it down, guys. It is about that time. Keep an eye out on the channel for more of the spring training content as we roll. KD, what do you think about Gurriel Jr. taking reps at third? I think they just want to have options to play him anywhere, and I think that's good. They had him in the infield. He struggled. He's done really well in left field. We'll hope he continues doing that. But everybody, have a great night. Thank you to, again, my moderators. Thank you to my members. If you want to become a member, you'll just have to go to the main page if you want to look into what the membership is. But Kyle and Rocky, thank you for being here. Thank you for being members. David, a member as well. Guys, everybody have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. We'll talk to you later in the week with more spring training content. And if the Jays do anything big, we'll be back. I might do a Jays only stream. I might do a Blue Jays only stream in a couple days. I don't know. I'm feeling it. I'm just feeling it with spring training starting and everything. I might do a Jays only stream. So Blue Jays fans, keep an eye out for that. Again, everybody, thank you. Have a good night. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Keep an eye on the channel for more good stuff. Again, enjoy your Tuesday night, everybody. Have a good one.